friends. Today we are going to start our new story at the beach. We are on day 1, and I am on vocabulary and literary devices with you this week. I will go ahead and tell you that at the end of this week on day 4, you will have a vocabulary quiz on Pearson. It will be linked in Schoology, but I would write down these words so you can study them for that quiz, okay? The first thing that we're going to do is talk about the literary term this week, and it is imagery. Imagery is the use of words that help the reader imagine in his or her mind the way things look, sound, taste, smell, or feel. So think of it as something that helps you use your senses when you're reading. Because when you're reading, you really can't taste or smell anything, but the author can use words that are so descriptive that it helps you be able to imagine, which is kind of where that word imagery comes from, right? It makes an image, helps you imagine what things would look, sound, taste, smell, or feel like, okay? An image is a detail that stimulates the senses or the imagination, just like we talked about, right? So if I just said, I'm eating a cheeseburger, you could picture a cheeseburger, but you don't really think of all the other senses. But if I started describing how it smelled, I'm eating a large, juicy cheeseburger with bacon and lettuce and tomato, and I start using more descriptive words, you can kind of start to maybe smell it or taste it or envision how that would look in your mind, right? So authors can use very descriptive words to help us make a picture in our mind. We're going to read My Special Island together, and this is just going to help you introduce those vocabulary words that we're going to be learning this week. What I want you to do when I'm reading is, I know a lot of these vocabulary words are going to be unfamiliar to you, and so I want you to think about the words around that vocabulary word, which are our highlighted words, and try to use those context clues to figure out what that word may mean. We're not going to go over them today because I want to give you time to think about what those words may mean, and then we're going to go over half on day 2 and the other half on day 3. So let's get started with reading My Special Island. You can follow along on the screen. I like to daydream about my special island. It has the most beautiful beach for exploring. I walk along the sand and admire the wild driftwood shapes, polished by the waves and sun. Let's pause. So I don't really know what that word driftwood means, but it has the word wood in it, right? And then if I look around it, it says wild driftwood. That tells me it's probably not really pretty like cut wood. It's probably just in the wild. It says shapes polished by the waves and sun. That makes me think that the wood may be polished by the waves and sun. So it may be in the ocean, and it's just laying in the ocean because we saw that word wild, and it's polished by the waves and sun lets me know that it stays outside for a long time, right? So that's an example of how you can use context clues to get somewhat of a definition for those unfamiliar words. I want you to try that with the rest of them, okay? Let's keep reading. I pause beside a tidal pool and watch crabs, sea urchins, and other strange animals. Standing in the water, I look at a forest of algae stretching as far as I can see. I wonder what strange and beautiful creatures lie concealed in that underwater forest. In my dream, I am a world-famous scientist armed with my microscope, tweezers, and divining equipment. I learn all the secrets of the ocean world. After a long day of amazing discoveries, I head for one of the hammocks under the palm trees. There I store my treasures and lie down, letting a gentle breeze rock me to sleep. Martin, Miss Smith says sternly, wake up and get back to work. Oh well, back to arithmetic. I have often lamented my bad habit of daydreaming during classes. Alrighty guys, that's all for today. Remember to use those context clues to try to figure out what those vocabulary words may mean, and we'll go over them when I see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.